Yes, my obedient family, as e dey hot, e don happen o. Hey, UK government don sit down with the same table with Labour Party and dem come ensure us obedient, and Labour Party say dem dey interested in wetin wan happen for dis election and dem still dey in the side of free and fair election. Make I no talk too much, please comment in the comment section if dis one na a welcome development or not, and just still dey share am make other obedient family and make other person see am say yes, party wey no get structure, people wey dey abroad dem don dey recognize the party, everybody now don dey recognize the party. Man, no talk too much, obedient family, share this video and comment your opinion in the comment section as e dey hot. E don happen o.
Signed the condolence book for Her Late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. That's when we last met. So this is the final probably meeting I'm having with the key political parties. So I've been meeting all the presidential candidates and all the party chairmen. So it's very helpful to me to be able to hear directly from you, and I'll ask you a few questions in a minute. But the basic points to make in this introduction is that obviously the UK doesn't have a vote in this election. What we want to see, along with our colleagues in the international community, is a credible, safe, peaceful election where the people of Nigeria are free to choose who they want to represent them at presidential level, at the various governor levels and so on. So that's our stake in this. And the reason it does matter to the UK is because of the importance of the partnership. The UK and Nigeria obviously have a long, deep history. Whatever ups and downs, we're bound together, almost as one people. And this election really matters. So, for example, recently I know the president was in the US for the Africa Leaders Summit. It was noted there, and it's noted by our senior politicians, including our Prime Minister, that the election in Nigeria, the eyes of the world will be on it, because you're the largest democracy in Africa, and you're a country that's been stuck with it since 1999, and each election has seemed to us to get a little bit better. It's not been without challenges and setbacks, but the general direction of travel has been exactly in the right one for strengthening Nigeria's democracy and representation. And this is in a region where unfortunately there has been quite a lot of backsliding on democracy, or in quite an unstable region with coups and presidents who've been clinging on to power for longer than they should. So Nigeria is to be commended, I think, for its democratic journey, and as I said, it matters. Well done. So it matters to the region, and it matters to the world. Nigeria is a very important partner for us, and a stable democratic Nigeria where people feel their vote reflects their preferences doesn't mean they get the candidate they want, but it means that as a whole Nigeria has elected what the people as a whole want. It means that Nigeria hopefully will be able to progress in its numerous challenges on security front, on the economic front and so on. Whoever inherits the presidential ticket will inherit quite a number of challenges. But we, the international community, want to be with you step by step, particularly the UK. So hopefully that just gives you a sense of why I'm here. And what I'd be really interested to hear from you and your colleagues is, how do you see the situation now, as we're very close now on the security side, on the electoral process side? Do you have confidence in the BVAS system and so on? Is there anything worrying you? Is there anything we can help with to ensure in these final weeks that we get to the point where INEC can run the election peacefully, where the National Peace Accord, all the principles that have been set out there, can be adhered to? So I'd be very interested to hear from you how you see things at the moment.
Well, I want to specially welcome you to our office. I want to appreciate your efforts so far towards ensuring entrenchment of democracy in Nigeria. We are very desirous to have credible and people-oriented presidents come the election of next year. We believe very strongly that if the process leading to the election is free, fair, and credible, then of course there will obviously be peace in the country. Believe that if the process is compromised, if the process is not fair, then of course there won't obviously be peace. We appreciate the fact that The country has been going through numerous challenges as a result of insecurity. We've also had a lot of issues with the economy. Today, people are poor. Majority of our people are poor. They are hungry. Even the Bureau of Public Enterprise, the Bureau of Statistics, recently in their recent figures estimated 130 million Nigerians as poor out of the 230 million Nigerians. And the people generally believe that the numerous challenges that we have in the country is as a result of poor leadership. It's as a result of cumulative leadership failures over the years. And the people are therefore determined to have a change of government. And the only opportunity they can do that is this opportunity that is afforded every 4 years for the people to vote and be able to change leadership. Expectations are therefore very, very high, as you can see, especially among the young people. And going by the figures released by INEC just yesterday, the young people are more in number.
Yes, I saw that. Interesting.
And therefore, young people are desirous to have changes in government. And therefore, the only way we can calm frail nerves is for the process to be free, fair, and credible. I want to say that as we speak today, the Labour Party and its presidential candidate appears to be the most popular candidates among the candidates. And we are popular among the youths and the very, very vulnerable in the society. And therefore, we believe that the only way we can have peace is where the process is transparent, the process is open, the process is not skewed, and therefore whatever will be the outcome, generally people will accept. Our greatest challenge, however, is that the party has been under serious attack. The candidates of the party officials have been under terrible attacks. In Kaduna, for instance, the women leader was killed in Kaura. The husband was also shot. As we speak, the husband is still in the hospital. They have amputated his legs. As we speak, he's still in the hospital. We have also lost 2 people in Kaduna. We've lost 1 secretary and another member in Kaduna.
Are you clear who was responsible for those attacks?
Yes, the opposition parties, of course, purely political. Purely political.
But who do you have? Is there anybody arrested? Or, no?
For now, no. And then in Imo, we've also been one of our senatorial candidates was Linus Okori, was arrested. In fact, they woke me up at about 12 midnight and told me that he was kidnapped, that I needed to save his life by rising to the occasion to make press statement. And that night, we did press statement, and it was all over the place. At about morning, the state's commissioner of police then took responsibility for being responsible for the arrest of Linus Okori. He was there incarcerated for about 40 days, only for the courts to have said that there is no case against him. That same Imo, we have lost 2 other members in the House of Assembly. One was assassinated and the other one was killed. We've had instances where in Lagos, in Akwa Ibom, in Osun, in Ondo, and several other states where a lot of our members have been subject to various attacks. We've also heard rumor that in places where we are strong, especially in the southeast and south-south, that they are going to, few days to the election, they are going to deploy people to cause trouble, to cause mayhem, to bring out bandits, to scare people from coming out to vote. Apparently, by the time they do that, the process will be compromised. Because if there are threats to lives and property, people will be afraid to come out to vote. And if we have that kind of scenario, it will be very clear that the election is compromised. And so we therefore want to appeal to government and to appeal to you that we must call on government to ensure the safety of lives and properties before and during the election. We have confidence in the fact that the beavers will work because it has been tried in, we have used it, it has been used in Ondo, it has been used in Osun and Ekiti.
Sadly, we've seen over the last 4 years. So on that issue, the key will be to ensure it doesn't prevent people actually getting to polling stations and voting.
Okay.
And that will be quite a challenge for the security forces and police, because they'll need to think where to deploy. Because there's one thing managing security for an off-cycle gubernatorial election, and the recent ones have been pretty peaceful actually, so it's a good signal, but it's obviously much harder when it's nationwide across the country, and that will be some tough decisions for the police and so on. Secondly, there's the sort of insecurity violence around on the actual day of the election. And with the electronic transmission of votes, where it's much harder to interfere with the vote once it's gone through. So I do think we need to be live to different kinds of tactics and techniques, and you've mentioned some of them. The one we've seen also in other countries actually, sort of like stop people coming out at all, sort of intimidate them to not leave their homes. So I think, again, the security forces will need to think smartly about how they anticipate and manage those kind of. So, for example, in an area where it's very close, for example, rather than deploying your security forces where it's very clear which candidate's going to win, if gubernatorial, worry about where the tensions are and deploy. So that would be my thoughts there. And then I think the third bit of the thing, insecurity violence to worry about, as you've mentioned yourselves, is violence post-election, if the elections are not seen to be credible. And so I've mentioned that in my closing remarks, how important it will be to signal to, as political leaders, to your people, assuming the election is credible, we have to accept the results. So I'm anticipating that. In terms, finally, of what we do, as I've mentioned before, we'll be on the ground monitoring ourselves as part of the international community, so eyes on. We've got the visa lever, and that will apply. That's not designed to be used against any individual political party. It's generically against individuals. You could be, individuals who have just been paid thugs, or it could be very senior people in parties, or agents of the political, police, whatever themselves. So we're looking out for incitement of violence and actual violence, and as I say, it's a signal at this stage to prevent it by signalling that the visa regime can be used. So that's how we will play our part, hopefully, in trying to ensure the elections are secure on the day.